What is going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown, and if you're new here, welcome. So as you all know, Antonio Brown has been traded to the Oakland Raiders, and because of that trade, some people are going off and saying that Julio Jones is the better receiver than Antonio Brown. What do I think about that? Well, let's just dive right into it.
So, I hate to say it, but let's not be biased for this talk. Let's not go off and say that Julio was the best this whole entire time. Instead, let's talk about the team and quarterback they work with. Now, I get it. That might sound kind of silly. But here's where I think this is really important. There are some receivers out there that I don't think would have ever had success without the team and quarterback they worked with. Like Demaryius Thomas, for example. He worked with Peyton Manning and he was pretty good, but once Peyton left, he was just kind of mediocre on the team, and then he was cut from the Broncos, and after just 1 year of being on the Deshaun Watson-led Houston Texans, he was cut. And then Danny Amendola was great with Tom Brady, but then after 1 year with the Miami Dolphins, he was cut because of his production. But then there's other great receivers like Randy Moss, who played with several teams, and we all know how he turned out. So what I'm trying to say is that we can't just go off and say receivers are good right off the bat. We gotta see who they have at quarterback and what team they work with. So let's start with Antonio Brown. Basically, his whole NFL career, he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are kind of always in playoff contention and Super Bowl contention. And though his quarterback Ben Roethlisberger is talented, we did find out that Antonio Brown does have talent. Julio Jones, on the other hand, let's be real, the Falcons were not always in playoff or Super Bowl contention. And Matt Ryan, I do think, is an underrated quarterback, but he's not as good as Ben Roethlisberger, even if he won league MVP. But you still see Julio catch all these passes and use his strength to help lead the team to victory. But since his team wasn't always in contention for Super Bowl or even playoffs, he isn't necessarily a team changer, if that's a word. In other words, he didn't change the team into becoming a super team if they weren't always in Super Bowl contention. The real way we can find that out, I guess, is if he plays for a different team, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Now, outside of football talent, Antonio Brown is an obvious drama queen, and Julio is not. I mean, we saw the whole Falcons squad gather around him when he scored his first touchdown in Week 9 of the 2018 season. So now that Antonio Brown is on a different team, my question is, how will he perform? Will he create a mindset that makes him a leader on the team and there's no drama? Will he perform well and make plays with Derek Carr, who is slowly becoming one of the average quarterbacks? Is he going to help this terrible roster to victory and lead them to a Super Bowl team? And most importantly, if he's on the Raiders, will he find a way for John Gruden not to trade him? I'll say that if Antonio Brown creates Oakland into a Super Bowl team, then maybe he is a total team changer and he is better than Julio. But if the Raiders are bad again, then it just comes to show they both aren't necessarily team changers, they just are elite playmakers on their own. They can't always make their team great.
So overall, I don't think there's a clear winner here. I think they're both equally great players and they have their own great traits. Really, the only way we can find out who the better receiver is by waiting till the end of the 2019 season. But whether you guys agree or not, please make sure to smash that like button, blow up the comment section, and definitely hit that subscribe button so that way you don't miss any weekly content. There's new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern, and I will see you guys this Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Rise up.